Report returns to the heart of Ohio. The Centerburg Trojans, after a really significant win in Week 4, return home to host the Loudonville Redbirds. And some more KMAC action here live and free on the OH Report. I'm Jonathon Langdon, Xander Devault alongside me. We'll have your pregame coverage up next here on the OH Report. Stay tuned.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Time now for your Webb's Marathon and Automotive pregame show from Centerburg, the heart of Ohio. Here, as we get set to go for some more KMAC action early in the season, the second week of conference play. And we are here to cover Centerburg up against Loudonville. Jonathon Langdon alongside Xander Devault. This is going to be a great, fantastic game if you're a Centerburg Trojan fan as you try to surge forward and make your case to win the title this year.
Let's do it. Let's do it, John. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. We're out here. It's a beautiful Friday night. It's a little warm. We're out here in the center of Ohio. I'm ready for some KMAC action. It's my first KMAC game of the year, and I'm excited to get it going. Yeah, Centerburg for sure looking to get another statement win, like you said, after their toppling of Northmore last week, beating by almost 20. So that's a big time win, but they got to continue to do it again this week.
We sit at 80 degrees as we are about 10 minutes away from kickoff. Let's go ahead and talk about the opposition to start for the Centerburg game as Loudonville comes into town. Of course, an 0-10 season never looks good back in 2024, but they had quite the non-conference run at it.
Yeah, 0-10, yeah, never quite is what you want, but they're looking to bounce back this year. Already 2 wins on the schedule, sitting at 500, 2-2. Two big morale victories over Mapleton and Richmond Heights, where they dropped 60 and then 48 points. So this offense, it really has potential. You see their running back Colin Cayley averages 8.4 yards per carry, which is something that is a big deal. If he can get going tonight, if they can hit early and often on this Centerburg Trojan defense, then who knows what could happen.
Yeah, those numbers may be a little bit inflated with those first 2 weeks, but this is the second highest scoring offense in the KMAC, 33.5 points per game. They've been over 10 in each of those games. However, they do have an 11-game losing streak in the KMAC, so they're looking to reverse tide, and it would be in a big way if they did it here tonight against Centerburg on the road. Player spotlight, you talked about Colin Cayley, one of the running backs. I want to focus on Braylon Kaufman because that's a big fella, 5'11", 220 pounds. He's the second leading ball carrier. He's going up against a really big Centerburg team that he's going to have to use his size for.
Yeah, Braylon Kaufman, he leads in carries. He's got 267 yards, 6 TDs on the year, so it's going to be a big guy. They're going to have to stomp that duo coming out of the backfield. Like I said, who knows what could happen. They hit him early and often, get the running game rolling, and we could see an upset here tonight.
Take it back out to the field. Looks like Ed Honabarger leading out his crew as they prepare to take on a really tough task in the Centerburg Trojans, a team that a lot of people think is the favorite to win this league, the KMAC this year. Let's go ahead and spotlight them as we look at their last couple of weeks. Of course, the one loss that didn't look too pretty against Johnstown, but that's a Division 6 team going up against a really tough Division 4 squad.
Yeah, they're 3-1. Last year, 8-4, so they're kind of on track to maybe do a little bit better than they did last year. But like we talked about, I mean, they got a great win last week against Northmore. The week before that against Worthington Christian, and they put up quite a few points this year, except for that game to Johnstown. Like you said, Johnstown is a big dog in this pond, but it is they had 34 points and then 53 and 44 in their wins, and so they've got a lot of star players on both sides of the ball. I mean, we could take our pick and we could talk about anybody for the player spotlight.
Well, we're going to go ahead and talk about Miles Marshall because he's been a star these last 2 weeks. How about this? 8 touchdowns, 371 total yards in those last 2 weeks.
He has, yeah, Miles Marshall has been an absolute dog. He leads the KMAC in rushing touchdowns. You see some highlights right there. He is going to be a problem, not only tonight, but for the rest of the season here for the Centerburg Trojans. And we've got some great ball carriers here tonight on both sides of the ball. And so it's going to be a fun one, not to mention Blaine Ball can get in there and rough it up a little bit.
So a lot of those yards came last week against Northmore on the ground with 4 touchdowns in each of those 2 weeks. You see the last one here on your screen as they took down the Golden Knights, the KMAC champions of yesteryear. Trojans about to make their way out to the field. Veterans and First Responders Nights. Some great flags leading the way for the Trojans as they look to get their 4th win of the season and get it here at home in front of a fantastic crowd. Xander, how about this? I overheard some people chatting in the bleachers. There were people putting down blankets in these seats 3 days ago waiting for this game.
Hey, I mean, it doesn't surprise me, right? I mean, this is KMAC, and we are in the heart of Ohio right now. I mean, we had to come up here and claim our booth last week. We had to get up here and put our chairs down and get ready to go. So, hey, I'm ready to go. Everybody here is ready to go. The stands are quite packed here for the Centerburg Trojans, and I know that they are looking to see a great game tonight, hopefully in favor of their home team.
Well, luckily we have a good friendship with Rich Porter, the AD, so we've got ourselves covered for the rest of the season. Keys to victory for Loudonville. I think you got to limit third down and longs. I watched a little bit of their game against East Knox last week. They got in a lot of those, and this isn't a team that likes to throw the football too much, so you can't dig yourself in too big of a hole, especially against Centerburg.
Yeah, Centerburg, they have a great defense, right? They've got Hagen Bryant on that side of the ball. He's got 1 sack and 2 tackles for loss, not to mention a fumble, forced fumble with 29 solo tackles right now. And so he's going to be a force on that side of the ball. They've got a lot of guys that can do damage on defense. And so it's just going to be, like you said, they're just going to have to not be able to put themselves in those situations that are going to set them up for failure.
And then you noticed in that highlight for Miles Marshall, a lot of his touchdowns were outside of the hashes. So I think Loudonville needs to center in, try to keep it between those hashes today. And then if I'm Centerburg, do what you did against Utica in week 1 right here at this stadium. Test that secondary. They didn't look too pretty against East Knox. You could probably get some good balls down the field.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we talked about how dynamic their run game is, how dynamic their offense is. They've also got a deep threat on the outside. Hayden Love, number 4 for this Centerburg team, is a dog out there on the field. So I'm calling everybody a dog tonight. Everybody's a dog. And Hayden Love is out there. He averages 28.8 yards per reception. So that is a deep threat, if you ask me. So who knows? Maybe they load the box right. They try to stop the run, and over top, see Hayden Love to the end zone.
You see the schedule for Centerburg on your screen as we kind of referenced it before. Good win against Utica, tough one against Johnstown, a very good 2-2 team. But you want to talk about dogs? Before we get to the kickoff, I want to talk about Tommy House. This guy's had quite the season defensively for the Centerburg team.
Yeah, he really has. Like I said, they've got a lot of different guys over there on the other side of the ball. They've got guys on both sides of the ball. They're going to be able to do damage to this other team all night long. And it's really going to be, it's going to be a war of attrition. We're going to have to go out on the field and see who's going to come out early, who's going to come out fast. And who knows, if Centerburg can get up to a lead early, it might be just a little too much for them to stop.
Speaking of making their way out to the field early, we are 40 seconds early, in fact. So everyone's just going to kind of sit
get
here
going.
As we're, ready to go. I do want to bring spotlight on Ed Honabarger, the coach for Loudonville, real quick before things get started. Loudonville head coach, second season, very successful at Danville a couple of years ago. Brought them a couple of state appearances not too long ago, starting to create a different kind of culture this year. He's brought in a couple of transfers for this Loudonville team. It's not all put together yet, but they're getting there.
I mean, we've seen it, right? We've seen it at every level, the NFL, college, even at high school. People that come to new schools and really change the culture. Last year, 0-10. First year under new coach is really, you can't put too much value in that. So even right here in the second year, he has turned it around. He's already got 2 wins through 4 games, and it's only going to go up from here under Coach Honabarger.
And one of the reasons I love Coach Honabarger is that he decided to take the football to start this game. He wants to see his Loudonville Redbirds put some offense together from the get-go, as we're going to see the Centerburg Trojans kick this away here at home as clock is now at 0, reset to 12. Trojans 3-1 in the year. Loudonville 2-2. And the Trojans send it away right down the middle of the field. This one will be returned by Colin Cayley, who rides a couple blockers past the 35. And they will start their first drive of the night at the 37-yard line. So let's go ahead and talk about the quarterback that is bringing on the offense today, Chase Wright. He's a big dude, 6'4", 180, just a sophomore too.
He is a big dude. Really nice being able to see over top of that offensive line. Hasn't had the best year in terms of stats up to this point, but it's not been bad. It's definitely been better than last year. Like I said, already 2 wins on the docket. So he's really got a chance to be the leader of this Loudonville team and take it to the next level.
So we will have first down and 10 as we are underway here from Centerburg Elementary School. We can see the high school actually across the way from where we are as we see the first ball carrier indeed be Kaufman, our player spotlight, but he doesn't get too far.
Yeah, right up the middle. Centerburg is going to be on that. I mean, they've got big guys up at the nose tackle position, so they're going to be able to stuff a lot of that, especially early. They might have been ready for it. So we got to see. I'd love to see Loudonville be aggressive here. You said they took the ball. They opened up with the ball. They said, we want the ball. We want to score first. We want to get going. So I'd like to see some more aggressive play.
They did the same exact thing last week against East Knox. However, they did fumble the ball on their first possession, so looking to turn the tide here. Big bunch right at the line of scrimmage towards the middle of the field. Right rolls left. Doesn't seem to have much. There goes the ball again, and it's scooped up by Centerburg.
I mean, I don't know if you called it. I don't know if it was announcer's jinx. I don't know what's going on, but they did fumble. It's going to be Centerburg football. Can't do that, especially in a game that you are not favored in. You can't come out, say you want the ball, and then give it up, because it's basically like Centerburg just started with the football.
Exactly, and they are already in Loudonville territory after that fumble recovery by Jackson Ballinger, who was the one to scoop it up for this Centerburg defense that already has a takeaway. They had 3 last week against Northmore. Only took them 2 plays this time around. We will see the 5'9" Blaine Ball, the most electrifying player in the KMAC, bring this offense out for Centerburg. He's looking to go down the field. First play, Hayden Love, touchdown Centerburg.
I mean, what did we just talk about, right? Hayden Love averages 28.8, basically 30 yards per reception. They're probably loading the box for that run, and they just pop it over the top. Hayden Love, like I said, gone to the end zone. Easy work there for Centerburg on the first drive.
He's a big play guy, just his 11th catch of the season. It's for his 5th touchdown of the year, and it just feels like him and Northmore's Connor Stockdale just seem to seesaw back and forth between taking the lead in receiving yards this year in the league. See a 2-point conversion as that ball also spills on the ground. And regardless of who recovers it, it's not in the end zone. So this will stay 6-0. But Centerburg, not even a minute off the clock, they score a touchdown. We'll take a break, come back live and free on the OH Report.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
If you're just joining us, this is not the opening kickoff. This is actually a touchdown from Centerburg, who gave the ball to Loudonville to start this game, but an early fumble and a deep shot down the field on the Trojans' first play resulted in our first score of the night. It is 6-0 in favor of Centerburg. Another solid return, however, by Loudonville gets them to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, we're only 3 plays in, Jonathan, and we've got a turnover and already a touchdown. Centerburg up 6-0 here at home. And like you said, another great return on the kickoff there. But, I mean, great returns don't mean much if you can't hold on to the ball. And we've seen on the first 2 possessions of the last 2 games for Loudonville that they really have not done a great job of that. So they're going to have better ball security, not only right now but for the rest of the night.
So Chase Wright will go back under center with his big old center, Jacob Poole. Wright takes the first snap. It'll be a handoff, and what looks like we'll have a flag. Tackle in the backfield. We'll see who this is on, but if anything, it'll probably be a decline penalty if it is on Loudonville. I saw them point towards Centerburg, so it could be something on the Trojans here.
Yeah, but that front of Centerburg really just not letting anything go through as of right now. They've already got two tackles for loss and a strip fumble on the first 3 plays of defense, so not too shabby.
Well, they picked up the flag, no call. So we'll have 2nd down and it looks like 12 from the 44-yard line. Right under center again, you're going to see a lot of this wing offense from Loudonville. Another motion man. This time it'll be a fake looking to throw. Wright chucks one down the field into double coverage. And getting the hand on that is Miles Marshall. We talked about his offensive capabilities, but also a solid defender in his own right. 3.5 tackles last week.
Yeah, Miles Marshall and it was Miles Marshall and Skylar Merklin. Both eyes got real big. You saw that that throw come their way into double coverage. Lucky that time it's not a second turnover here on the same amount of drives for Loudonville.
Well, Markland had an interception last week in the first half against Northmore, so he has been feeling it back in the secondary. Marshall trying to join the party as well. He does not have any picks yet this year. Near side, you can see number 3 on your screen. We may see some pressure come from that way. Another man in motion, Josiah Hirschberger. He won't get the football. Instead, it'll be Colin Kaylee, pardon me, who gets past midfield.
Nice play there, drawn up. A little misdirection. Thought they were going on the jet sweep, and then hands it to Kaylee up the middle, able to find some room, finally break through that Centerburg strong front line for some yardage. But it's 4th down.
And the punt team's on. So right 10 yards back from the snapper. Looks like they're going to send Hayden Love back to return. And Chase just barely gets it off. Tommy House almost got there for the block. Love taken up right away. Looks like forward progress will have him at the 15, but not the greatest return from the Centerburg Trojans. However, they will take over on offense in reasonable range. And what you would see is they started off in Loudonville's territory off of a fumble, but we'll see what they can do with a full-on drive.
Yeah, that time not a very great return. They weren't ready for it, though. They thought they were going to run a 4th down play, and they told Hayden Love at the last second to get back there. So he was able to get back and get the ball, but, I mean, they are starting on their own 11. So it is going to be interesting. I mean, we saw one play on offense, so we don't have much to go off of, but that one play was electric. So we're going to see what they can do here. I would expect with this much room, I mean, they are in a 5 wide right now, so we're going to see what they do, but you'd expect the run game to get involved.
They do like to motion Miles Marshall from the slot. And here he goes. Fake give to him. Ball will keep hold of the football. Solid gain as the drive starts at the 12. They sit now at the 17.
Yeah, a little QB draw there. Able to gain some yardage. Not the explosive play that we saw on the first play of the last drive, but they're going to try to, silently work their way down the field here. But keep your eye on Hayden Love out wide.
So 2nd down and 5 after that gain. We'll see sidecar action from Centerburg. Marshall to Blaine Ball's right. Keep an eye on the slot. Eli Indiciani. Great blocker down the field. This could be a screenplay. Ballinger moves to the offensive line, and he will front block for Miles Marshall, who's eaten up quickly.
That's what you got to do if you're Loudonville, right? I mean, you got to put an end to these plays early. That is really, really where Miles Marshall kind of shows his talent is in the open field. He's able to, make guys miss and get up the field on plays where he's already got the ball. So yards after contact is where he thrives. So they're able to thwart at that time, which is good.
And there's some big fellas for Loudonville on this defensive front. They've got 6'8", 245 Colton Poole rushing from the left side. Ball has to evade a couple defenders. Jukes out one. Gets a 1st down and more. He's taken at the 32-yard line. Great run from Blaine.
How about that? Quarterback getting out of the pocket, scrambling, juking a defender out. Not something you see very often at any level, nonetheless in high school. But like you said, he's the most electrifying. I'm going to quote you on that. The most electrifying player in the KMAC.
So the 1st down puts them now at the 31. So already nearly 20 yards here on this drive. Ball will be all alone in the shotgun. Marshall near side in the slot. That ball nearly lost by Marshall as he nearly left it behind, able to scoop it up, but he's taken down in the backfield. Take a look at this. Thanks to Monarch Title Services, you're going to see him just not take it quite right.
Yeah, Ballinger didn't quite fully commit to the block there and just able to take advantage of that, and a great play made there, and really a great play because, I mean, it's 2nd and 15 now, which is big time for the Loudonville defense.
So great tackle for loss by the Redbirds. Looking to put some pressure on the Trojans. 2nd down and 16, ball on the 25. Ballinger in motion. They're looking his way, and we've got a flag. False start looks like on the Trojans.
Not what you want to see out of Centerburg, and they're really just kind of, I mean, their drive is by their own accord right there, just getting worse and worse. They're going back now at 2nd and 20, so they got a lot of ground to make up. The Redbirds in a good position.
The flinch either came from the center Cole Evans or the left guard Clark Red. It looked like they both kind of jumped early. But nonetheless, that brings up second down and super long now at 21. Late substitution for the Trojans. 5 wide, as they should, here on second and long. Ball looking down the middle of the field, got his tight end, Jackson Ballinger. He will push forward to the original line of scrimmage on this set of downs. That'll make it third down and 10. So Jackson Ballinger gets his first catch of the day, the Division I recruit.
That's a good play there from Ball. I mean, you got to know as a quarterback, you don't have to get it all in one chunk. And he saw Hayden Love out here on the near sideline trying to out-sprint his defender, but able to take the short yardage. And now it's a more manageable third down.
Empty set yet again from the Trojans, looking to build something here. Ball rolls out to the far side, looking down the field on the run. A little tug at the jersey. And from the about 20 yards out, we see a flag thrown. So it looks like Loudonville's going to get called for a holding. It happened before the camera kind of panned over to Ballinger, but there was certainly contact.
Yeah, there definitely was. He tugged at his jersey sleeve there. Now, I mean, whether it prevented him from getting to the ball, it was a little bit overthrown, but can't be doing that, especially on a ball where your defense is about to get off the field.
Exactly. So Ballinger on his route, able to draw some contact, and that will make it
holding on Loudonville.
What appears to be a first down. It's awfully close to that line of scrimmage. And, yep, it will be. So move those chains. Costly mistake from the Redbirds gives Centerburg a free set of downs. But, hey, that's just the threat that Ballinger possesses. Even when it feels like the ball's not catchable, you still got to make sure that he is nowhere near making a play, and that's what the result of the hold is. As we see Marshall get his first real carry of the day, and he is eaten up right at the line of the scrimmage. So this Loudonville rush defense is pretty solid when you really look at things. Giving up about 3-4 yards per carry, which is right where you want to be. It just feels like the secondary is what has let them down in recent weeks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good matchup, definitely. I mean, the rushing offense from Centerburg versus the rush defense of Loudonville. And right now, I mean, they're holding Miles Marshall to even less than their average. I mean, it's still early in the game, right? There's a lot of opportunity, but at the moment, they're doing a great job.
Left side car here for Marshall. Second down and 10, ball on the 41-yard line as we are halfway done with this first quarter. Ball tucks it, runs. Another big play opportunity for the senior. Breaks another tackle, or just couldn't get away, and he's going to be down at the 38 of Loudonville.
I mean, he is just fast, man. You see, he drops back, notices the pocket's collapsing, steps up, great job, and he's able to get, like you said, an open field, juke out some defenders, and he is just, I mean, when he's in open field, he's just faster than you expect.
I'll tell you what, Loudonville's doing what we said to do, keeping them between the hashes, but it feels like that second level is non-existent just with the coverage they have to do. They have to put in place with all of the receivers kind of running back. Opens up the middle of the field nicely here for the Centerburg offense. North Central State College first down. We've got a screen play from Marshall. He's down at the 40 for a 2-yard loss.
Marshall, really a star player here for Centerburg. Not able to find anything yet. The rushing game has been all Blaine Ball thus far. And as the game goes on, I'm sure, as you beat down in the trenches on offensive line, on defensive line, it's gonna kind of wither away on this Loudonville defense. So I'm sure Marshall will get his chance, but right now they're doing a great job defending him.
Blaine Ball with that carry 2 plays ago. He is now over 1,000 yards on the season, combined passing and rushing. Play action. He's looking to run it again. And he's got the first down again. Wrapped up inside the 25.
What a stiff arm there. I mean, he's got it all on his back, doesn't it? The juke, the stiff arm. I mean, I'm waiting to see a spin move, maybe a hurdle next time. He's running all over this Redbird defense right now.
It's right around the field where Lamar Jackson, you could call him Houdini.
Oh, yeah.
So Ball will get the play call from Coach Andy Colella. And this offense, really, really solid drive that started all the way back at their own 12. They sit at the Loudonville 23. Under 4 minutes left. Ballinger moves to the outside in a motion. It'll be a fake screen play to him. Give it to Marshall. Gets to the outside right around the numbers, near side. And he is taken inside the 20. First look at the red zone offense from the Centerburg Trojans.
Yeah, Marshall gets his first real sniff of any yardage there, and we'll see if that will lead to more coming up. Yeah, they were outside the red zone last drive when they hit that bomb to Hayden Love, so we'll see what they do here. Do they opt for the pass or they go to the run? They've done both very well tonight.
3.5 minutes to go. Here in quarter number 1, 4 receivers and Disiani in the slot near side. With Hayden Love, Ballinger moves in motion to leave Merklin all alone outside. It'll be a handoff to Marshall. He's inside the 10, and he's got a first down.
Yeah, they used the motion from Ballinger almost as a lead block there. He hit the line of scrimmage right at the right time and was able to open up some room for Marshall to kind of get in there. I mean, if you're Marshall, you'll take this right now. You've been wrapped up the line of scrimmage over and over again for like the whole first drive and some more. I mean, now he's finally finding some room, so we'll see if they can get him the touchdown here.
Plenty of football left for him to get going. Also, they've got the 6-point cushion, which could end up being more as a result of this drive. So it'll be an 88-yard drive if they can finish it off. Marshall jukes past 2. He's taken down from behind by Chase Wright inside the 5.
With an offense this dynamic between the quarterback run, Miles Marshall, you got Hayden Love, Ballinger, like we talked about. I mean, there's so many players that you have to guard, especially in the short field when there's so many options. It's really going to be difficult for this Redbirds defense to stop this score from going up another touchdown.
Ball sits on the near side, hashes at the 3. Second down and goal with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Centerburg already leads 6-0. Snap to ball, give to Marshall. He'll get closer, he'll dive to the end zone, he's in. Touchdown Centerburg as Miles Marshall makes it now 9 touchdowns in 3 weeks.
That is incredible. Miles Marshall fighting through the contacts, as you're going to see it here on the replay. He takes the handoff from ball, kind of gets tripped up, gets held at the feet, but he's able to fight through the contact and find his way across that line. 9 touchdowns in 3 weeks. Wow, what a job for Miles Marshall.
Kind of uses that last tackle from Gavin Eckelberry as a little boost to the end zone as he dove right to that goal line. So great job from Marshall. Makes it a 12-0 game. They'll go for 2. Ball under center. You're not going to see this much in regular drives, but they've got something drawn up. Marshall just going to push forward, and he's got the 2-point conversion. So that'll make it 14-0 here as we get to the end of the first quarter. 2 minutes to go. We'll have the rest of this one live and free on the OH Report next.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Welcome back live and free on the OH Report. My name is Jonathon Langdon, Xander Devault to my left. Shane Young, your camera operator, here tonight. 14-0 Centerburg leads as we get towards the end of the first quarter. Very excited to have as much KMAC action as humanly possible on the OH Report tonight. All 8 teams in the league in action on our airwaves. Tackle inside the 35 on the return by Loudonville. Let's go ahead and take you into a look across the KMAC. Of course, the biggest game this week, Fredericktown, Mount Gilead on our main channel. Both teams 4-0. Someone's got to give. And then Northmore taking on Danville, another really tough game. 2 teams that did not expect to be 0-1 going into week 5, but here they are. And then you see our game and Cardington taking on East Knox as well. KMAC going to be a fantastic league this season. Some new contenders. It's always exciting when you have that.
Absolutely, and that seems like a fantastic game over there in Mount Gilead. Fredericktown coming in and looking to make their record the last unbeaten record in the KMAC. It's going to be a big game.
And that's going to be a very run-heavy game as well, just like Loudonville's offense right now as they get 6 yards on their first play. But Mount Gilead, Fredericktown, probably the best defenses in the league, battling it out. I've made multiple jokes on our shows, in comment sections, that game likely is going to end 6-0, just with how much defense both of those teams brings. It's going to be a very run-heavy battle over there at the reservation. 2nd down and 4. Ball in the 41 as we hit the 1-minute mark to go in the first quarter. Wing formation, Kaylee in motion. Instead, it'll go to Hirschberger on the reverse. Squeezes through 2 offensive linemen for some positive yardage. I don't know how he wiggled through here. You're going to see it again. Just goes right between 72 and 57 for that Loudonville offensive line. That's Zeb Brechelson and Carson Hustack.
So basically you're saying Mount Gilead and Fredericktown's like a Big Ten game.
It is.
Yeah.
A lot like a Big Ten.
Big
it's not
Ten.
It's not the Big 12.
Yeah, no, definitely not the Big 12. Centerburg's the Big 12.
2-back formation here from Loudonville for 3rd down and 1. Centerburg tries to put pressure up the middle. It's awfully close. I think this near side official got a good look at it. And he's going to mark him just short, it looks like. You'll see the late push. I think he's down right before that 45.
Yeah, the near side official was signaling for a first down, but I think he might have got overruled. Yep, first down for Loudonville here. Good drive starter for their offense.
Absolutely, and we're going to see that take us to the end of the first quarter. Plenty more KMAC action on the way here from the heart of Ohio. Centerburg leads 14-0 on the OH Report.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grow hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
And welcome back for the second quarter of action from Centerburg Elementary School, just across the way from the high school. In fact, can see it all the way across a couple cornfields, just as you would expect here at Centerburg.
Where's it at?
You see it
Okay.
all the way to the right by the Dollar General.
The Dollar General sign, yeah, for sure. Cornfields and Dollar Generals are synonymous with each other.
Synonymous with small town football, which we've seen very good example of it here in the first quarter. Centerburg putting on 2 scores. Loudonville had a very costly fumble on their second play of their opening drive that gave Centerburg pretty much a one-play touchdown opportunity that they capitalized on. We have got 2nd down and 4 for the Redbirds as they try to build something. A lot of misdirection. Centerburg not fooled. It's a loss of 2.
Yeah, they didn't. It's not what Loudonville was expecting there. They did the misdirection. They thought they might be able to get Centerburg's defense, as we've seen some solid rushing attempts thus far on this drive, but Centerburg able to put a stop to that, and we'll see here on 3rd and 6 what Loudonville can do.
You know what the answer to a bunch of misdirection behind the line of scrimmage is if you're Centerburg right now? Just throw as many guys in the box as you possibly can. That's exactly what they did there.
Yeah, because they've only attempted 1 pass, and we saw it was into double coverage. So right now, I mean, I'd let the secondary be.
Another wing formation. Just one receiver near side. It's Nick Buzzard. Hirschberger in motion. He'll join him. Passing opportunity, trying to get out of a crowd. Wright just throws it away. Good pressure from Tommy House. Makes it 4th down.
Big 4th down, as we're going to see Loudonville have to make a decision here. Already down 14-0 in the first, or sorry, this is the second quarter now. Looks like they're going to punt it away. Centerburg's going to have another chance on offense.
And I think the plan here, if you're Loudonville, just try to pin him as far as you can, even though it didn't work last time where we saw Centerburg score an 88-yard drive. Right, snap, gets the punt off despite 3 blockers approaching. Love fields the kickoff or the punt. Gets past the first level, and a flag in the backfield as he's taken down at the 20. See if we got anything on our angles for any potential flag. It might be on Sean Carter as he kind of tugged at the back of one of the Loudonville defenders.
Can't be doing that. No holding, no block in the back here. That is illegal. Got to get a flag every time, as Centerburg going to have another chance, going to have a chance to go up 21-0 here in front of the home fans. I know that all of these Trojan crazies here would love that.
I'll tell you what, they were crazy last week against Northmore. Of course, here at Centerburg, we're a little higher up, so it's kind of hard to hear them. But last week, I could tell you, they were fired up in that game against the Golden Knights. We're going to see this ball get backed to the 10, and that's where this next drive will start for Centerburg. So Loudonville last week against East Knox, they gave up 20 points in the first quarter to East Knox. They ended up losing 27-12. So first quarter explosions by the opposition has been their Achilles heel so far this season, and it's continued into this one where they let Centerburg score twice. Far side hash, Blaine Ball takes a snap at the 5, gives it off to Miles Marshall, makes a couple moves, and he gets close to the 20. Looks like about the 19 is where they will mark him. So we saw Miles Marshall start to get going in that second half of the second drive where he was kind of shut off behind the line of scrimmage a few times, but now they're starting to change things up.
Yeah, he's starting to find a little bit more room, and I mean, you know that the Centerburg Trojans love to see that. That really provides another level of their offense that the Redbirds have to defend, and it's only going to make it more difficult. But they've really been kind of honing in on the run thus far, so we'll see what they do here.
Ball back in the shotgun. 3 receivers, another handoff to Marshall, and he is blown up quickly by that defense. And again, there is Colton Poole, that 6'8", 245 unit that we told you about. Very good off of the edge for this Loudonville team. He had 8 tackles, also recovered 2 fumbles last week against East Knox.
6'8"?
6'8".
Oh, my gosh.
And he's got a brother who's 6'7", plays on the offensive line.
That is a specimen on defense there.
He's working on the far side, number 44 in white. Ballinger motions away from him. Ball gives it off again to Marshall, who breaks up the middle, past the secondary to the 42.
You see that speed there from Marshall as he gets the handoff and just busts straight through the hole his offensive line made for him. Once he gets above that second level, you really are in trouble because that speed can be something else. But Loudonville able to kind of hold him.
Crucial tackle by Nick Buzzard for Loudonville to keep that from a touchdown because he was pretty much the last man back. So first down and 10 on the 42-yard line of Centerburg as the Trojans continue to drive. 8.5 to go in the second quarter. Blaine Ball in the shotgun, moves Ballinger in motion to the far side of the offensive line. Snap back to Marshall. It continues to work. They're going to keep going for it. And he gets another 9 yards. If it ain't broke, don't fix it here, Centerburg.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Exactly, and they're having a lot of success now with Miles Marshall, something that we didn't see very early, and you got to think, keep handing it off. They're going to start stacking the box, and then there's Hayden Love right over the top. We saw that on the first drive.
And they've also got a couple of other weapons that they haven't looked to yet. Skylar Merklin sits near side with Indiciani in the slot. Hayden Love's all alone on the outside as they sit on the outside hashes right now for second down and 1. Ball's on the 49-yard line. Ballinger moves to the near side as the tight end. Fake give to Marshall. Rolling to the near side. Blaine Ball's going to tuck it and run. He's done that numerous times already in this game, and it's for another first down.
Yeah, Ball not afraid of the contact there either. Meets Josiah Hirschberger right there where he stands. Tries to get a little bit more yards there. You'll have to see that out of a quarterback.
So move those chains yet again. And the first down brought to you by North Central State College. At the end of this drive, we'll take a chance to thank all of our sponsors bringing you live and free coverage all season long for the Centerburg Trojans, and thanks to you guys, we've got a spot in this booth reserved for us all year. First down and 10 on the 41. Loudonville covers the screen play. Ball's going to have to improvise near side, and he runs out of bounds right around the 33 as we saw a big shot as he ran out of bounds. Let's take a look at this again, thanks to Monarch Title Services.
Yeah, what a block there from Merklin.
It's going to be on the right side here, screen. Boom.
Ball on the carry out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
You know that one hurt. Quentin Kaufman took all the brunt of that one on the near sideline.
Ball did not get the first time down that time. He's 2 yards short. Ball on the 32. Another motion from Ballinger. Ball gives this off again to Marshall. Breaks through the seam. Marshall to the outside, taken inside the 15 out of bounds.
Marshall on the carry, pushed out of bounds by Buzzer.
So first down Centerburg. Marshall's starting to find his groove. And this crowd really enjoying it, but there was a flag.
Coming back, holding on the Trojans. So that play is going to be erased off the box score. Unfortunate for Marshall and this Trojans offense. But with the success they've had thus far, they should be able to get back.
Yeah, so that holding call costly. It's a spot foul, however, so it doesn't move them back too far, in fact. They sit at the 33 right now for second down and 2. Shotgun eye out of Centerburg. They'll move Marshall to the far side. Fake the give to him. Ball will tuck it himself. Gets to the 20-yard line. Breaks 2 tacklers. It's a beeline for the end zone.
What a run from Ball. The quarterback is running all over this Redbirds defense right now. I mean, we talked about it. He just passed 1,000 all-purpose yards this year. He had 10 touchdowns coming into the game, passing and rushing, and now he's got 12, including the throw to Hayden Love earlier and that run. What a broken tackle all the way to the end zone.
Yeah, 2 Redbirds collapsed in on him, and it just seemed like they both threw each other off, and Ball just shrugs it off, takes it all the way to the end zone. He's got his first rushing touchdown of the night. 2-point conversion. They're 1 for 2 on these so far today. Ball looking corner of the end zone, instead goes short, and Ballinger, it's out of his reach. Or no, that's actually to Hayden Love, who could not haul in the catch. So it's 20-0. Loudonville going to have to put in some work offensively to try and inch closer here before the second quarter ends on the OH report. So Centerburg will kick things off yet again to the Loudonville Redbirds. Jonathon Langdon, Xander Devault. We were talking off the air about Jackson Ballinger and just the perspectives that he has. Just as a junior, 21 Division I offers, 18 of which are Power 4. I was telling Xander the list of a couple of those schools, and Florida came up, and it seemed to strike a nerve out of the Florida State fans sitting to my left as we see Loudonville return this past the 40. Solid return for them.
Yeah, I think old Jackson Ballinger should head on down to Tallahassee and talk to Coach Norvell, in my opinion. I mean, Florida's not looking too hot this year, let's be honest. And Florida State, we're ranked 7th, so I don't know.
You guys beat Bama.
Yeah, we have handily, may I add. So I might have to go down there and whisper a little advice in his ear.
He's done a good job today, Jackson, blocking down the field. We saw a catch from him as well. It's not the stat sheet that sticks out for him. He's been to a lot of elite camps. He's shown out there. and it's triggered all of these Division I offers, but he's also utilized well defensively. But to my understanding, it's his role as a blocking tight end that has him getting looks right now, as we see Loudonville get a first down on their first play. Colin Cayley takes it to the far side.
It's the first really explosive play we've seen from this Loudonville offense, and hopefully just a little bit of what is yet to come. As down 20-0 here in the first half, you know the Redbirds would love to see more plays like that.
So Colin Cayley, 8.5 yards per carry through the first 4 weeks. He's got 4 touchdowns to his name. Had 17 carries for a team-high 98 yards against East Knox in the KMAC opener. First down and 10 on the Centerburg 43. We've talked about how this offense, it's not the struggle there because they've put points up on the board. It's been defensively as of late where they've needed to help out this offense as they gain another 3 yards right there to the 40.
Yeah, so far in their past games, they really haven't had that much of a problem putting points on the board. I mean, they've only had 14 and 12 in their last 2 matchups. But before that, like we talked about earlier, 48 and 60 on the board. So right now, they've not been able to find a whole lot of offensive success in the first half. But Centerburg's defense has been very good.
Back to a 2-back formation. They line up side by side at the 44-yard line. Ball in the 40. Second down and 7 by the far side hash. Back to Cayley they go. And Cayley's rocked. So he'll get about 3 yards. He'll make a third down and short. Well, I guess medium at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, they're finally on the opposition's half of the field, so you know they'd love to stay here if they can keep this drive going. Going to be a pivotal play, though, 3rd and 4. And they need to get this if they want to kind of hold this lead to a minimum, to something manageable, because as we've seen, Centerburg hasn't had any problem going down the field and scoring.
Yeah, the slow start from Loudonville offensively is definitely partially because Centerburg's run defense has been fantastic these last 2 weeks, averaging just 2 yards per carry. Third down, quick screen play, and this one's going to be a fumble. I thought it was a fumble. Ball's still alive, and Cayley picks it up and takes it to the 15. It was a backwards pass that ends up bouncing forward, so that is a fumble. Just look at, yeah, they threw it backwards clearly. Cayley couldn't make the catch, but he stays with the play, and he gets him an unusual first down.
Wow, what an unconventional play there. You see the screen pass. I don't know if they meant for it to be a lateral, basically a backwards pass, but that's what it was. He threw it, and it was about 1, maybe 1.5 yards behind the quarterback, and smart heads-up play there by Cayley to be able to pick it up and take it down the field.
He was the only one on the field that knew that that was a live ball, so got to give credit to him as he sits near side in one of the wings for this next formation. First down and 10, ball in the 17 for Loudonville. Under center again. Right. Calls a man in motion. We'll see a flag, and I think I saw a false start in there.
It was a false start.
I believe it was actually on the quarterback here. Maybe a little shudder at the line, but a lot of people for Loudonville moved early right there.
All those infamous calls, everybody but the center.
Yep. And when I was talking to a couple people about Loudonville, because I don't know much about the Redbirds coming into today, what I was told is that flags can stack up for them, and it's mostly false starts. It's just them still trying to figure out this offense. And just a lot of unusual motion that you don't typically see, as right here bobbles the snap, ends up losing the football. It'd be his second lost fumble of the day. There's still a scramble for it. And we'll see what the call is. Still fighting for it. Big tussle, and it's going to be Loudonville football.
Heads-up play there to be able to recover that after the fumble from Chase Wright, but unfortunate, 2 fumbles, almost 2 lost here early in the game, really just in the first half.
And this is a new issue, Xander, because the first 3 weeks they didn't have any fumbles. They lost 2 last week against East Knox, and one of them was on that opening drive just like it was tonight. And it looks like now we'll see a timeout from Loudonville as they were running out of time to get a playoff And this will be the first timeout of the half. So take one off for the Redbirds. Centerburg still has all 3 of their timeouts remaining.
Yeah, I haven't really had to take them here in the first half. No reason to. But like you talked about, I mean, the fumbling is a new issue for Loudonville. We know that their competition has really ramped up here in the last few games. The first 2 games were against some opponents, Mapleton and Richmond Heights. You know, no disrespect to them, but they're not the best Ohio high school football teams, and so Loudonville was able to take advantage of that. But as the competition has really ramped up, we've seen, you know, quite a few fumbles like you talked about. So it's really like what you can't do. You got to have ball security, especially in a game that you're not favored in. You got to be able to hold the ball and not just give them opportunities. That time they were able to jump on it.
And it's unfortunate because you saw on your screen as we're back out of this timeout, this is the start of probably the roughest stretch of schedule for Loudonville this year as Wright goes long for this one, tries to find his first teamer, Josiah Hirschberger, but he's shoved out of bounds legally by Centerburg and broken up for an incompletion.
Yeah, there was some fighting on that one. We've really only seen about 3 pass attempts from Chase Wright and this Redbird offense. That one, the receiver couldn't get his head around. He couldn't quite find the ball. He turned around too late. By that time, he was basically already out of bounds. So just an unfortunate set of events there. Sets up a 3rd and really, really long here just outside the red zone.
See what the Redbirds can muster. Still going under center with Wright. But the sophomore has seen pressure all game long from this front line for Centerburg. He'll roll to his right. Ball tipped up at the line, and the Trojans get in each other's way. It's an incomplete pass. But you're going to see Jackson Ballinger rise up and get a hand on this ball. Quick look, clean right off the palm, and then just a crowd of Trojans can't agree on who wants the pick.
Yeah, that almost could have been a pick 6 if he could have taken that right there at the first opportunity, but instead Loudonville gets lucky. Another almost turnover. We've seen quite a few of those tonight. 4th and 16, the upcoming play.
3.5 minutes to go on this 4th down and long. Ball sits at the 24-yard line. And not something you see very often, but very pressing time for it. Empty backfield for Wright to throw up the middle. Hirschberger, it's underthrown, incomplete, hits the ground, and Centerburg takes over on downs.
Yeah, that ball had a chance, actually. The receiver was open. Not the best throw coming out of Wright, like you said, behind him. And that's just going to end the drive for Loudonville. Centerburg has a chance to up the score and enlarge the deficit here before we hit halftime.
Want to shout out our sponsors, bringing you live and free coverage on the OH Report this season. Shout out to Centerburg AmVets Post 59, who honor their veterans, celebrate their community, cheer for the Trojans, and welcome everyone to come enjoy great food and drinks at the club just outside downtown Centerburg. You probably drove by it on your way here, Xander.
I probably did. I don't know what I was looking for, but I'm sure I did.
First down and 10 for Centerburg. Marshall had a good drive last time out. This time he's eaten up for about a 4-yard gain. Another sponsor to shout out, Webb's Marathon and Automotive. You also drove past that, Xander. Stop by Webb's Marathon to join the Webb's Rewards program, where you can earn dollars off fuel and eat free drinks and coffee. Go Trojans. 2nd down and 7. This ball thrown a little short as they were looking for Braden Nelson. I'll make it 3rd down and medium, and then another sponsor to thank, Knox Public Health, committed to the health of the community by promoting healthy lifestyles, preventing illness, and protecting the community. And also shout out to Monarch Title Services. If you're selling or refinancing your real estate, you get to choose the title company. Why not support those who support the Trojans and close with confidence anytime, anywhere? Let's see if Centerburg can close out this 3rd down with a first. Ball fake, looking down the field, crossing route, and Disiani, you can't find him. A little bit of pressure in the face of ball as he went to throw. That may have altered him slightly, and that'll bring out the punt team.
Yeah, going to have to punt this one here. Not the drive you wanted if you're Centerburg, but you got a 20-point lead. We got 3 minutes left here on the first half clock, and 2 opportunities there. Ball just not quite able to make the throws that you needed to get the first down.
So a couple of incompletions and not too much time has come off the clock. We still got 3 minutes to go if Loudonville decides to try and go for a score. Nobody's back to return right now for Loudonville. And ball will kick this away. I don't think anybody for Loudonville knows there's no returner. And this is going to roll all the way inside the 25. And that's got to hurt if you're Loudonville as they touch that ball down at the 22-yard line.
Yeah, pretty good flip of the field there on the punt from Ball. Going to set up a challenge for Loudonville, but we saw them get down into the Centerburg side of the field last drive. We'll see if they can do it again here before the half ends.
So 2:41, that's how much time Loudonville has to work with. A run-heavy team. Odds are stacked against them here as they look to try and put together what would be a 78-yard drive. But to thank our final sponsors, shout out to North Central State College, providing individuals with the knowledge, skills, and inspiration to succeed in their chosen paths. And also our commercial sponsors, Knox Community Hospital, specifically the Centerburg Health and Wellness Center, Rural First, and Scout Construction LLC. First down for Loudonville. That will get just shy of the 30. As you see a crowd of Trojans there to bring them down.
They're going to be a tall task to ask this Redbirds offense, who hasn't put up any points thus far, to make that 78-yard drive like you talked about in just under 2 minutes. It's going to be very difficult to put points on the board here.
They did gain 4 on that play as they go outside to Hirschberger, who's taken under. How about Hagen Bryant getting there first for Centerburg?
Hagen Bryant, a guy that we talked about, he's got 34.5 tackles right now, 29 solo tackles. So he's been a guy up there for Centerburg, and he makes the play there.
Stud linebacker, him and Tommy House, in my opinion, combined to be the best linebacking crew in the KMAC. Just from what I've seen so far this season from some of the other contenders. Gotten to see Danville play in action. I saw them lose to Utica in a really tough one back in week 2. And that's just kind of sent them spiraling a little bit. They lost last week to Mount Gilead. I think they're still trying to find their identity over at Tough Street. So Danville right now playing against Northmore in another tough game. But if they can win that, that can definitely push them along to some wins later on in the year. Timeout here by Loudonville. And actually, this is going to be called by Centerburg. They still think they can put points up on the board.
Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy to think. We've shown, how explosive their offense can be. We got 2 minutes on the clock, a third down here. So if they're able to stop them and get the ball back, they'll have quite a bit of time.
Right under center with 2 backs behind him. 2 receivers to the outside, rolling that way. Right, tries to truck forward. Instead, he'll go backwards. Even past the original line of scrimmage to start the drive, and Loudonville's going to have to punt.
Yeah, they're going to have to punt it. This is exactly what Centerburg wanted. They called the timeouts for a reason. The clock is stopped again as they've called another timeout because they know they're going to get the ball back. They're going to have 1 minute and 48 seconds to do something with it and try to just make that lead a little bit larger before we head to halftime.
So Centerburg's defense will talk things over. Just gave up 207 yards last week against a really good Northmore offense, most of which came in the passing game that we've seen Loudonville not have much of today so far. Just gave up 47 rushing yards to Carson Campbell, the lead back for the Northmore Golden Knights. They also held Golden Knights, talked about this earlier, to 1.9 yards per carry. They had 3 takeaways on the defensive end. They've got 1 today. They've also got a turnover on downs as well and a few punts. And a few is now upgraded to 3 as we're going to see Loudonville line up for another. Right around this area is where Centerburg got a blocked punt last time, right? Able to get this one off. Line drive. It'll bounce right to Hayden Love, who scoops it up on 2 hops. Love shifts to the outside, breaks 1, and he's taken down by a combination of Redbirds at the 36-yard line. Looks like they actually have him at the 37. So the Trojans with 1:35 to go definitely have some momentum to try and score a touchdown.
Oh, and it is absolutely possible. This is right in the area that we saw on the very first drive, the third play of the game, when Ball was able to go up top and get Love, find him over top of the defense behind the safeties into the end zone for the first play of offense for Centerburg. So we'll see if they try that here. Maybe they try to go with the run. They've got some time on the board. They don't have to get a one-play touchdown. But, I mean, you never know. We haven't seen another shot downfield like that since that touchdown.
Blaine Ball all alone in the backfield. 5 receivers for the Trojans here as they start this drive in short field. Ballinger near side, looking towards the middle. Blaine Ball looking his way. He'll now tuck it and run. There's a flag in the backfield, so hold everything. Runs out of bounds at the 33-yard line, but not likely going to be where this ball ends up, as we got a hold on Centerburg.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. And as Ball was rolling out to the right, as soon as he decided to tuck it and run, Hayden Love was wide open in this corner of the end zone. Obviously, it wouldn't have mattered. There was a holding, but something to notice.
20-0 if you're just joining us. Centerburg leads over Loudonville. Looking to put one more on the board, but the 10-yard penalty certainly does not help things. First down and 20 in the 47. Still in Loudonville territory. 5 wide yet again for Blaine Ball. He'll look up the middle of the field. Second catch for Ballinger goes down quickly. And we've got another flag.
Ballinger, penalty marker on the play.
So yet another flag gets thrown, and this one's late. And I believe it's going to be on the bottom of your screen as Miles Marshall and Chase Wright were going at it. And again, it's going to be a call on Centerburg as they're going to get Miles for pass interference.
Yeah, this is really hindering Centerburg's chances to score as they just keep pushing themselves back. I mean, this is going to still be first down, and it's going to be quite a ways. I'm not exactly sure exactly how far it'll be, but it's going to be a long way. So they still have 1:20 to go, but now they're all the way back behind the 40 on the other side of the field.
So 1st and 30. The line to gain is the 27-yard line of Loudonville. Ball will take a QB draw, and he'll get a decent amount of that yardage. Right at the near side, Numbers runs out of room, goes out of bounds inside the 45.
Again, smart play by the quarterback there. Don't have to get it all in one. He gets a large chunk of it, though, on a QB draw, which you're not exactly used to seeing. But like we talked about, Ball, very explosive, able to get up, make this about 2nd and 15 when it was 2nd and 30. So, I mean, 1st and 30. So, much more manageable. You still got 1:15 on the clock to put some more points up.
And that rush puts him over 100 yards on the ground, the quarterback. 4 receivers far side here. Interesting formation. Maybe see a screen play. No, they'll fake it that way, and Ball's going to get some more yardage. And he's got an open field in front of him. Looking for the end zone. He's there. Put everybody on one side. Just give Blaine Ball some open field.
I mean, all Blaine Ball needs is just a little sliver of open field. And right there, he had basically the entire half of the field. And when you give a guy like Blaine Ball that much room to work with, he's going to make you pay each and every time all the way to the house. Blaine Ball, again, going to be another touchdown. 2nd rushing touchdown of the night.
Shout out to the wide receivers for the downfield blocking on that play, and also shout out to the MVPs of last week in the eyes of Centerburg football, the Bulls, the offensive line for that Centerburg Trojans side that helped Centerburg run for 5 touchdowns on the ground against Northmore. They're getting towards that sort of production here, too, in this game. Blaine Ball just going to be 1 yard short on the 2-point conversion, so funky-looking score, but Centerburg well in control. 26-0 with a minute to go. Here live and free on the OH Report.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Trojans in command here at home, 26-zip. We'll see Loudonville take over with about a minute to go in the second quarter. Trojans still have a timeout left if they decide to try and get the ball back. That's exactly what they did on the last drive, to have the opportunity for Blaine Ball to run one in. His second rushing touchdown of the day a few moments ago. As this ball gets away from Cayley, he'll have to backtrack and receive it, and he's hit hard before he can get to the 20-yard line.
Yeah, rough play there. Ball gets past him. He's able to pick it up, which is good, but when you're that deep and you just turn around, you're going to get licked. And Centerburg delivered that licking. But Centerburg up 26-0 right now. A minute left here in the half, so theoretically, a little bit of time for Loudonville to do something with.
Well, I counted 5 Centerburg defenders on the kickoff team that got to him simultaneously right there.
Yeah, that's kind of hard to overcome there.
1st and 10 on the 18. See if Loudonville just tries to drain some time despite Centerburg having a timeout left. Wing formation. 2 backs behind right. We go to Cayley. He gets closer to the 20.
And we'll see if Loudonville likes to call some timeouts here, try to save some clock. Although it doesn't. Clock's still running right now.
Nothing doing, so it looks like they'll try to just take this down to the halftime break. Second down and 9 on the 19. Make sure to stay tuned. Here on the OH Report, we bring you the halftime bands, so that'll be coming up in a few moments. Right, another handoff up the middle. And Kaufman, haven't said his name in quite some time, but he pushes forward for another decent gain, just going for the 4 yards in a cloud of dust. Sort of tactic here to end the first half. And with zeros on the clock, that is going to do it. Centerburg Trojans lead 26-zip. Just what you wanted here at home as they head to the locker rooms up against Loudonville. Again, coming up, band show here live and free on the OH Report.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
For over 12 years, you've trusted Scout Construction for quality building and remodeling. Now we're proud to offer expert excavation services to start your project off right. You see what we build, now see the way we dig. Experience the Scout Construction difference. Call or email us today for a free quote and let us break ground together.
Next, we will feature our color guard as the band performs Ozzy Osbourne's Crazy Train. We will continue our show with one of Queen's most famous songs. Here is Bohemian Rhapsody. with the precision drill to I Love Rock and Roll.
Matchups and combine. It's just to finalize it tomorrow. Well, I think they're ready, but now I think I'll be better wait for the rain to get some moisture back in. Say they're 8 to 9%.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome to the field the Trojan Pride Marching Band. The band is under the direction of this year's drum majors, Trusty Beverly and Seth Osborne Churchill. This evening, the band will be performing their 2025 show entitled We Got the Latin Fever. Get ready to be dazzled by Latin jazz music, bright, vibrant colors, and jazz moves. The show is a tribute to the late Chuck Mangione. The show will begin with a well-known Latin jazz standard, The Tiger of San Pedro, featuring trumpet soloist Brody Andrews, and then segue right into On the Floor by Jennifer Lopez, ending with the Mangione opener.
Sorry.
No, you're good.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
For over 12 years, you've trusted Scout Construction for quality building and remodeling. Now we're proud to offer expert excavation services to start your project off right. You've seen what we build, now see the way we dig. Experience the Scout Construction difference. Call or email us today for a free quote and let us break ground together.
And we're back for the halftime show presented by Webb's Marathon and Automotive. Jonathon Langdon alongside Xander Devault. 26 zip here from Centerburg. And of course, as promised, we have all 4 streams up live and free from the KMAC tonight. We're going to give you a glimpse into that KMAC scoreboard that looks awfully interesting right now. Of course, you see the 26 zip for Centerburg. Cardington Lincoln, as I predicted, I should say, leading over East Knox 22-21, but something that even I didn't see coming is that Mount Gilead 28, Fredericktown 7 score over at the reservation.
Yeah, we talked about it before. Both teams 4-0 overall, 1-0 here in the KMAC, and we expect it to kind of be an even matchup, but Mount Gilead taking the lead early and really running away with it. I mean, we'll see what happens in the second half, but 28-7 is a comfortable lead headed into the second half.
And I'm honestly surprised to see Danville trailing as much as they are, 23-12 against Northmore. I thought that this was going to be a pivotal point for them to try to finally figure out who they are as an offense and pile something together against Northmore, but that has not been the case as they trailed 23-12. But the Mount Gilead Indians are the story of the first half of the season, as it looks like, barring any sort of collapse, which could definitely happen, we're going to see Mount Gilead go to 5-0 for the first time, and who knows how long.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to watch that. It'll be fun to watch Mount Gilead take on Centerburg a little later in the season.
I believe 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. It's going to be marquee matchup as obviously a loss on Centerburg's record thus far. But like we said, to a great Johnstown Monroe team. And next week, playing Cardington Lincoln, that could be interesting as well.
Yeah, so they take on Cardington next week on the road. We will have to take a break from that. We won't have that live and free. We're hoping to get to Cardington soon as the year goes on, but we do not have any live streams there this year. But next week, or the next week after that, right back here at the heart of Ohio against Mount Gilead. If that score holds over there at the reservation, that is going to be the biggest KMAC game of the year, as most likely those teams will remain unbeaten heading into that game. I'm not sure who Mount Gilead plays next week. It might actually be Danville, which would be a really interesting match. No, they played Danville last week, so I don't know who would be playing up against Mount Gilead next week. But we're going to see Loudonville kick things off here from the heart of Ohio as we focus our attention on the Redbirds and the Trojans. Loudonville in that first half, crucial giveaway to start, just seemed to plague this team moving forward. They weren't really able to get any flow in their offense. Yeah,
they really weren't. Like we talked about, they had the one fumble that they lost. They had another fumble that they recovered, thankfully. And then the quarterback, Wright's really been throwing the ball into some dangerous, dangerous spots. Almost picked in the backfield, almost picked in a double coverage throw downfield. So really just as we see kickoff go out of bounds there, that'll be a flag. As we see really just Loudonville's offense, they need to be able to secure the ball and move it efficiently, which we haven't really been able to see so far.
You know what, Xander? Loudonville almost got to that football, which would have been a really impressive play out of the Redbirds to get them into prime field position, but instead it is a flag, and we can move Centerburg to the, I believe, the 35 at the high school level. It's either the 35 or the 45.
Or are they going to re-kick?
Yeah, they're going to re-kick, it looks like. Maybe offsetting penalties, because I knew I saw the one on the near side. It may have been something else down the field.
Re-kick here, resetting this second half here, get another shot at it. Try to keep this one in bounds if you're Loudonville.
So forget any of that happens. Let's talk about Centerburg a little bit before this kickoff goes. Just feels like everything offensively for them, on the flip side, has been kicking on just fine. Of course, they've got a ton of rushing touchdowns, 3 of those. They opened the game with a long touchdown pass to Hayden Love. So it just feels like those two levels, what you want to have going, are both going, as we could see them potentially stack up in the first drive of the third quarter. Kick from Josiah Hirschberger, high in the sky. This one caught and immediately taken to the ground by the Centerburg Trojans. So their offense trucks onto the field to start the second half.
Smart play there. Tried to catch Centerburg kind of off guard a little bit, having to re-kick. You know, you think they're just going to kick it downfield. Try to do a little bit of a squib kick almost straight up in the air. But a smart play there from the Trojans to grab that one and go down.
So Carter Wagoner, remember that name. We'll probably see him come in if this lead extends from Centerburg later on in the game. He's their backup quarterback. So the first play of the third quarter, move in motion to Jackson Ballinger. He'll set the lead block on a screen play for Hayden Love. He'll ride Ballinger all the way out of bounds to about the 45.
Yeah, pushing Ballinger up the field. Nice blocks there from Ballinger, but wanted a little bit more love on the screen pass. Explosive play to start the half. The exact same thing that we saw in the first half for Centerburg.
Yeah, Hayden Love thought he was in bounds, but obviously he wasn't watching his feet. They mark him out at the 47. They are still, however, in Loudonville territory for the first time this half. Ball motions Eli Indiciani to the far side. It'll be a give to Marshall. He'll take his place, and he'll push forward to the 41. So we have a tussle in the backfield. Two players going at it after the whistle. And with the helmet coming off, it appears as if Lane Johnston will have to sit out a play. Lane Johnston, a first-teamer on the offensive line. It's always impressive, and I always love to give credit to fantastic O-linemen because they don't get their name called enough. Unfortunately, Johnston won't be in for this play, but he'll go right back out there at the conclusion of this 2nd down and 4 on the 41-yard line of Loudonville. And Disiani back in motion. Ball gives to Marshall. He'll ride the outside, and he's got plenty of space. Tries to stiff arm the last defender, Buzzard, but he does a good job wrapping him up at the 10.
Just dragging Buzzard along. A great run from Miles Marshall around the edge. Got to the outside, able to take it up that far sideline, moving Centerburg all the way into the red zone.
But credit to Buzzard. That's Nick Buzzard. Had 8 tackles last week against East Knox. That's the 2nd open field tackle he's made to prevent a touchdown from Miles Marshall in this game. However, the big play sets us up at the 11 in a 26-0 ball game in favor of the Centerburg Trojans. 2 men in motion, a little bit funky on the play. No flag for illegal formation. They're able to clean it up, and Marshall pushes to the 6.
They're riding Marshall this drive, and he's taken them all the way thus far, all the way down to about the 5-yard line. 2nd and 5 with just about 2 minutes gone here in the second half. They're knocking on the door.
I would say my one weakness when calling football is illegal motion. I don't know what necessarily goes on with that, but to my knowledge, what I've learned, if you didn't see Hayden Love go in towards the offensive line there, it would have been an illegal formation, but they were able to clean that up, and that is why that handoff was clean from the Trojans. 2nd down and 5 on the 6. Similar look here. Playing ball on the option, keeps it himself. Looking for his 3rd rushing touchdown, and he's got it. Playing ball 3 on the ground, 1 through the air. Very early MVP candidate, as it's now 32-0 in favor of Centerburg.
I'd say he's a pretty solid MVP candidate with 4 touchdowns thus far through the night. Basically in one half of football as we just got into the second here, but this lead getting a little bit towards the insurmountable side for Loudonville. Great offense, great first drive opening up here in the second half.
Just as they've done all game, we'll see a lineup for a 2-point conversion. Ballinger moves from the O-line. He'll set the lead block for Hayden Love. It's a lovely play to make it 34-zip. Trojans in command as they've been all game long as we take another break on the OH Report.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Got a running clock in effect after this kick, as it's now dwelled to a 34-0 advantage for the Centerburg Trojans, who look to advance to 4-1 on the year and keep themselves unbeaten in the KMAC. Return from Colin Cayley, and he will be shoved back, but forward motion has him at the 38-yard line, and that's where Loudonville will start this next drive. Your North Central State College first down on the way, and Loudonville, as the clock continues to run, just wants to try and put something together to go into next week.
Yeah, I mean, right now, 34-0 against a really talented Centerburg team is not what you expected as a coach. You're never going to come in and expect to lose, but I mean, they were definitely, the underdogs headed in to the Trojans' territory tonight, and the Trojans have proven to outplay them on the field. But yeah, you want to get some momentum heading into next week into the rest of the KMAC.
And that means we may see Wright throw the football a little more often than we did in the first half as he takes a shot on first down and cannot connect, throws it out of bounds.
Yeah, we really haven't seen much of the arm from Wright yet this game. Only about 5 attempts. That one downfield, out of bounds, gave his receiver really no chance to make the play.
So that time he was looking for Dakota Wright. 2nd down and 10. Clock hits under 8 minutes after that play. Jax Ballinger moves to the near side of the D-line. They'll go the opposite direction, Loudonville, as there's a solid stop out of Centerburg. Ball moves to the 39 for 3rd down.
3rd down, something that Loudonville is not a foreigner to in this game. They've had quite a few 3rd downs, not been able to convert on almost all of them. Centerburg's defense has been very stout when it comes to late down plays. We'll see what they do here. They got 9 yards still left on the bone.
Wing formation. Your reverse play looking for space. Josiah Hirschberger has it. Gets close to the 40 of Centerburg where he's taken down for a 1st down and then some.
That's the first reverse we've seen thus far this game, and something that Centerburg was not ready for. I mean, they've gone back to the well every time, going right up the middle to the side, just plays that happen really tight inside of the line of scrimmage there. That one able to get around, like you said, he reversed it, get it back, flip the field, and he found himself some room. Now they're in Trojan territory.
So good 1st down, good momentum shifter for Loudonville, looking to try to score their first touchdown of the game. Another give this time to Cayley. And he gets over 5 yards on that, so a good solid gain for Loudonville again as we are past the halfway point of the 3rd quarter.
Cayley on the carry, tackled by Haas and Merklin.
Yeah, Loudonville moving the ball pretty well right now. I mean, a lot of it is thanks to that reverse play, the play previous to the last one. So we'll see what they can continue to do here on 2nd and 4.
Right under center with Poole, the snapper. Motion man is Cayley. They'll go back to Hirschberger, and he's eaten up quickly. House comes in on the tackle. So not quite the reverse, but still a misdirection play, and Centerburg was all on it.
Yeah, they've tried some misdirection plays thus far in this game. Really found no success. That's why the reverse was a surprise. And so they are still at about that 4-yard mark, maybe the 3, as it was kind of taken down at the line of scrimmage there. They've really not been able to find themselves into Centerburg territory a whole lot tonight. So right now they're threatening, about to go inside the 30-yard line if they can get this 1st down.
Watch out for Kaufman in the backfield. That's who they'll give it to for the 1st down and more. You see him churning his legs. That's all 220 pounds of him getting a decent gain out to the 25.
Yeah, just ran over Wagner there, trying to take him down. Able to get the 1st down and then some as they're about to the 25. They're threatening down in the other side of the field. We'll see if they can put some points on the board.
Surprised they haven't looked Kaufman's way as much as they have in this game, but he does stay in the backfield here for this play. They'll go right back to him. He'll truck along. Looks like a gain of 3.
Short yardage gains here on the run. In the run game have kept this drive alive. As the clock runs, we're already down to about 3:30 here in the 3rd quarter.
Long drive from the Redbirds. It would hurt for them not to score on this drive. Right under center. Quick toss play. Kaufman, 3 straight carries. 3 productive ones at that as he gets close to the 1st down.
I think he's going to be just short maybe. Have a little
Kaufman on the carry.
3rd and 2, 3rd and 3.
3rd down and 2.
Be interesting. Loudonville finding themselves a little bit, finding their run game as they get into the short yardage numbers. We'll see if Centerburg can counter.
This is 3rd down and 2 on the 19 of Centerburg. Back to Hirschberger they go. He had a couple big plays in this drive. And another big one. Gets past the 1st down line. So this drive continues for Loudonville, now at the 15.
First time that we've seen Loudonville inside the red zone tonight.
Yeah, I think they were stopped just shy. Actually, no, they did have the one on the Kaylee's backward.
Yes,
laterally got inside the 15, but then they immediately
play.
went right out. Speaking of Kaylee, here he is, getting past Marshall. Tries to get past Merklin, cannot do it. He's tackled around the 5.
Good open field tackle there to save the touchdown. You know that the Trojans of Centerburg really want to keep the clean sheet on the scoreboard. Right now, 34-0.
There is a flag that's going to take us back. So just when you thought Loudonville had something going for them, some laundry hits the field and takes it right off the board. They're going to go back 10 yards to the 25-yard line. So repeat 1st down. 1st down's presented by North Central State College tonight.
About 1st and 19.
There's another reverse. Hirschberger's got some space, but a good job by Centerburg to make some ground up and haul him in at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they gave him that space laterally, but not vertically, and that is what you got to do. We do have a player down on the field. It's a Centerburg Trojan.
I think it's. We'll wait till we know for sure. We'll stay to the side as they take care of the injured player for Centerburg. We will step to the side for a short moment. So looks like we've got an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on the Trojans. Before we take a break, I want to go back to see if we see anything unsportsmanlike over here.
Yeah, he yelled at him there. Number 8.
And it's Skylar Merklin that is down on the far side, and he's up. Running off on his own power, always great to see.
Yeah, Tommy House just let him know about it there.
So once the officials blow their whistle, the clock will roll again. We're stuck at 57 seconds right now. And we're also sitting at, after that 15-yard penalty, a 1st down and 7. Kaufman eaten up quickly. I thought I saw another flag fly, but no, it was just a fly in the distance. But we've had a lot of flags, so you could probably understand why I thought that. As we've got another stoppage. Not sure what this one's for. I think it might be the officials communicating about that last play if it was supposed to be 1st down.
50-50 tickets out, 37 seconds, and we will announce.
Yeah, because you see the chains crew has it as 3rd down.
That change crew I've seen a couple of times be off with their down, so just trying to recommunicate. And they are in agreement. It is 3rd down and 6.
Big play here for Loudonville if they want to create any momentum and get some points on the board.
Potentially the last play of the quarter here. Kaylee gets to the near side, hashes, spins towards the 5. It'll be awfully close to that 1st down marker. But to my eyes from here, it looks like he's just a bit shy.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down. 4th down as it going to be the last play of the quarter. Got an interesting situation shaping up here late.
50-50. No
So we are going to take it to the 4th quarter. Loudonville's got some time to think about this 4th down and 1 play. We'll have it for you when we come back on the OH Report.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
And welcome back to the Heart of Ohio. We return for a 4th down and goal. Or pardon me, 4th down and 1, ball in the 6. Under center is right. The sophomore gives it off to Cayley. He's eaten up. And the Trojans make a stand here late in this one.
Just incredibly disheartening here for Loudonville. You have a chance. This is 4th down, and I mean, they met him in the backfield. No chance he was ever getting to that line. As Centerburg going to go back on offense after, I mean, the hardest stand their defense has had to make all night.
That was nearly a 9-minute drive that results in 0 points for the Redbirds. So very hurtful or very painful for them as Centerburg takes over on downs at the 8. And pretty much the 7.5-yard line. 34-zip Centerburg. Blaine Ball does return out to the field, so he'll get what appears to be likely one final drive as the clock continues to run, up 30. See how long the first team gets until they rest them up for next week. Ball looking down the field. Ballinger down the sideline. Passes just a little bit too far ahead. And I guess we probably should have seen that coming with them coming out for this long drive that they'd try to take a shot down the field.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't seen a whole lot of shots on the field except for that first touchdown that we saw. That one to Ballinger. He overthrew him one time earlier, a little bit downfield. Ballinger hasn't had much in the passing game. You said he's more of a blocking tight end, and he's very good at that. But, yeah, he hasn't had much action when it comes to the throw and catch.
I would expect that to elevate as the season goes on, and especially during his senior year coming up. But, yeah, that's exactly right. How about Miles Marshall breaking through a ton of Loudonville defenders, and he's going to make it to the end zone for his 2nd touchdown today.
A 93-yard score for Miles Marshall. How about that? We hadn't seen a whole lot of long plays out of him. We've seen short plays there, 3-4 yards, maybe 7 at max. But right there, he shows you why you talked to him just a couple weeks ago. Last week,
and
maybe?
I did talk to him last week.
Yeah, he is just a bona fide stud at running back. 93 yards all the way to the house to push it to 40-0 right now in Centerburg.
And he's playing like he really wants to talk to me again. I don't know why he'd want to talk to me again. But, yeah, he is up there for your MVP conversations. Extra points for the first time today. And that goes through for Caleb Rauch. So credit to him putting the score up to 41-0. So, Xander, great segue as we just saw Miles Marshall running for a touchdown. Let's take a look at your KMAC rushing leaders. Miles Marshall actually just snuck into this conversation, sneaking past, who was there? It was Josh Goers, the quarterback for Cardington, who was in that 5th spot up until Marshall had that huge game last week. He just had his 7th and 8th rushing touchdowns today, and that number's only going to go up, and we'll see. Fredericktown's offense not doing too great today against Mount Gilead. He could surge up to 4, maybe even 3.
Oh, yeah, right now, I mean, I don't know the stats of the Danville game, but right now, I mean, you know, he's up there at 3. He had almost 100 yards on that one play alone, not to mention the rest of the games. Well, he has had an outstanding game here tonight, and who knows if he'll come back out on the field. You'd think not, up 41-0, but, I mean, even if he retires tonight, right now, a fantastic showing from him.
Yeah, you would think that'd be the cherry on top for this first-team offense, and we'll see them make way for the younger guys to go up against Loudonville for the last 9 minutes of this game. Short kick hits off the knee of Loudonville, and Centerburg has it. What a turn of events.
Yeah, just an unfortunate play there off the knee. Got to be careful of those balls because they kick them short and they hit the top and they roll end over end. That one hits the shin, off it goes. And off goes Centerburg with another drive. Up 41-0 here in the fourth quarter.
Ashton Anderson with the recovery for the Centerburg squad. The junior gets a nice play. And we are going to see that first-team unit return, it appears. Oh, no, they won't. I thought I saw Blaine Ball out in the huddle, but now it is Carter Wagner. So here's that second team, or at least with the quarterback. Hayden Love returns out there.
Yeah, Sean Carter at running back as well.
Braden Nelson near side as well. Carter's had some great runs this year. He has one right there to start his nights. On the 28-yard line, he's taken down.
Carter on the carry, tackled by Kaufman and Wright.
We'll see what the second team can do here with that running clock still in effect as Centerburg has only compounded on top of their lead here in KMAC action. 41-0, not too shabby.
So the sophomore Wagner took the reins for 2 drives against Northmore last week. Shotgun snap to him. He'll give it back to Carter, who lost a fumble last week. This time, though, he holds on to the football, gets it to the 16.
Carter on the carry, tackled by Buzzard.
There's a Centerburg first down for you. Carter lost a fumble last week, but he did bounce back and have a pretty solid game where he ran for 75 yards.
That is a pretty solid game. Right now, with 7 minutes to go here, he's already starting off on the right foot, 2 carries in a row, and a first down. As
Blaine Ball.
we're looking.
Carter splits another hole to the 5.
Yeah, Carter starting off, I mean, again, just not even starting off, continuing to show why he is so good. He just sits behind Miles Marshall, who is just incredible.
There's plenty of new offensive linemen in as well. I'm going to miss so many, but I'll try to list them off. I saw Clark Red in action, 74, Tate Forby. To his credit, he's been in a couple times today. He sits at left tackle. Carter goes his way, trying to turn his feet, but he's taken down. Colton Poole throws him down with authority.
Carter on the carry, tackled by Poole.
So it'll be second down and goal at the 4.
The second team looking pretty good up against this Loudonville defense so far. All the way down on the 8-yard line right now.
I'm listing off O-linemen as I see them. Ethan Beeler, number 75, also out there. Everybody else, it appears to be starters for the most part, including Aiden Gray, number 50. He sits at right tackle. We'll see if they go his way. However, Carter is in the right side car, so that would make you believe that he's going to go to the left if he gets this ball. Takes another carry. He's had a lot of action in this drive.
Carter on the carry, tackled by Poole.
Yeah, he's down to the 2-yard line, knocking on the door yet again. This Centerburg offense, this time not led by Blaine Ball, but led by Carter Wagner. Still doing a great job.
Wagner's yet to attempt to throw, but with back-to-back and just keep on going with that to back runs, Could we see something here on 3rd and goal with the 2? 3 receivers. They'll keep trucking along with Carter, who's met quickly, and he's not going to be anywhere near the goal line. He's down at the 2 for 4th down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do here on 4th down. Carter's been pretty effective, but as we've gotten into the shortages, yardages, that Loudonville defense has stepped up. So we'll see if they give him one more crack at it. I would assume they're going to go for this. Haven't seen Wagner get to unleash the ball yet.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're bringing in Hagen Bryant, who is typically an offensive lineman. He'll be at right tackle. So just trying to use some of their better defensive players to try and just get some blocks down. He's in at tight end, along with Carter Roadbeck. Here's 4th down and goal. Carter stumbles. He'll be short. So you're going to see here on this handoff that Carter, something happened around the feet. Yeah, just ran into his own guy. So getting in his way there was Cole Evans. And that's going to be a turnover on downs.
Unfortunate. Unfortunate if you're Centerburg's offense, especially if you're Sean Carter. Had a chance there to get a touchdown in this one and just continue to build that lead heading into the final 3 minutes of the game here. This would be an incredible drive if Loudonville is able to do it, starting on their own 2-yard line. Be a 98-yard drive.
Would have been Carter's 2nd touchdown if he could have punched it in for Centerburg, but that will have to wait. 3 minutes to go in a running clock situation. Odds aren't too great that we see Loudonville surge down the field and score, but you never know. We had a 97-yard touchdown run not too long ago with Centerburg's Miles Marshall. Decent start if you're the Redbirds, about a gain of 5.
Yeah, this is just about momentum for next week like you talked about. I mean, you're not going to come back from this 41-0 deficit in 2.5 minutes. So you're just trying to build some offensive confidence, really, heading into your next game. And it's going to be something that you have to do after, coming off of a KMAC loss of this magnitude. Next week, they've got Danville at home. It's going to be a quarterback keeper around the left side, gets to the sideline as you see Chase Wright is pushed out of bounds.
Probably his best gain tonight. And it is it enough for the 1st down? It's like right there on the line to gain. Yep, move those chains. But yeah, so Loudonville, although we potentially aren't going to see them score tonight with 1:42 and counting to go, I think I can kind of see the vision with this squad, bringing in a couple of pieces, trying to bolster the offense. They went up against a really tough Centerburg team tonight. And we'll see a solid run out of Josiah Hirschberger, close to the 35. But they've got great pieces. Of course, Hirschberger is senior. They're not going to have him next year. He's been a star for them. He was a KMAC first-teamer last year. But starting to see some of the backs that they have that will return next year. Braylon Kaufman. I think it's Braden Kaufman. Braylon Kaufman, my mistake. Colin Cayley. As they both touch the football right here, Hirschberger and Cayley. But a good tackle in open space by Marshall.
Yeah, we're under a minute now, so this game's going to come to an end pretty soon. Looking like the final score going to be 41-0 in favor of Centerburg.
So the Redbirds will have to dust this one off and head back home next Friday to take on Danville. A Danville team that at the half was down 23-12 against Northmore. So if that holds, both of those teams will be desperate for their first KMAC win, especially Danville, as it looks like we have seen the final play of the game. Centerburg's lined up, and they will celebrate tonight, taking care of business over the Loudonville Redbirds. 41-zip. Trojans are the first team to 2-0 in the KMAC after an early running clock finish.
Yeah, it was a dominant game by Centerburg from start to finish. Didn't get to see the second teamers punch in a touchdown there at the end, but I mean, really from the first play we saw, first play from Loudonville, decent run, and then a fumble right after that, first touchdown, and from there, it was all Trojans.
Coming up, our MVP conversation. We're going to invite Blaine Ball upstairs. We'll talk to him momentarily, live and free on the OH Report.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
This place means everything to us. This is where we come together. We do all of our birthdays out here. We grill hamburgers and hot dogs. We fish. I was about to give up. I was about to think that the property wasn't going to become mine. Rural First specializes in solving the problems. I made the call, and the rest is history. It was done. It made everything easy. Questions answered, walked me through the process. It was done. When I'm here, just feel peace. That's all it means to me. Peace.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Time now for your Knox Public Health Player of the Game. As we sit in the press box at Centerburg High School, Blaine Ball. What a game! What a show you just put on. Pretty slow night passing the football, but you were definitely busy running on the ground. 183 yards, 3 touchdowns. Also launched a good ball to Hayden Love to start this game. Just talk to me about that first drive. Your defense makes a really good stop, gets a nice fumble, puts you in prime field position, and you just feel like taking a shot.
Yeah, we just felt like taking a shot first play, see what they gave us, and just went from there.
Absolutely, and then you kind of take that in. The defense really helped you guys out. Just talk to me about how important it's been the last couple of weeks having them really step up in the run game.
I mean, it's really good because they're able to get the ball back to the offense. We're able to put up like a good amount of points, and I mean, they're the reason why we're winning. I
clocked you at 97 points the last 2 weeks. After the Northmore game, you add 41 to that here. It just feels like everything you guys are doing is turning into gold. You've got the Midas touch on your offensive game style. What do you think has led to that in practice? Maybe something that you feel like you guys are doing right.
Coaches are helping out a lot. He's calling the right plays, and I mean, we wouldn't be here right now without our coaches.
All right, well, absolutely. And then you move on to the next couple of weeks. You play a tough Cardington team on the road, and you'll be back here against the Mount Gilead squad that, I don't know if you know, they're leading big on Fredericktown right now. But just talk to me about this next little stretch of games and what you guys are going to have to do to execute.
Just 1 week at a time. We got to do just 1 week at a time and focus on our opponent, and that's about it.
Absolutely. Blaine Ball over here. We'll go ahead and look at that camera. Give any shout-outs you want.
I want to shout out my parents, my team, definitely the O-line, coaches. That's about it.
All right, Blaine Ball, congratulations to you.
Thank you.
And shout-out to Long Branch Pizza. Of course, he's not working there right now, but he was telling me that he works there. We got this for us. But, yeah, Long Branch representing out here as Centerburg gets the win over Loudonville. Time for your post-game show presented by Webb's Marathon and Automotive. A lot of happy people over in the Centerburg end zone right now as the Trojans rise victorious 41-0 over Loudonville in a game that we honestly probably thought was going to go this way, but Centerburg just proved us right, and it was from the get-go.
Oh, it was absolutely from the get-go. I mean, just to give you a little recap of the first 3 plays, like we said, Loudonville started with the ball, had a nice little run. Then on the second play, they fumble, something that plagued them the past 2 weeks. Centerburg able to jump on it, and the first offensive play after the fumble recovery was a touchdown to Hayden Love over the top. The only passing touchdown tonight.
And it was over half of their passing yards, as you see on your screen. We've got stats tonight, and you see 408 rushing yards for a total of 458. I don't think I've seen that number in quite some time.
That is insane. That is, I mean, it was all Trojans tonight. We saw them just running it over and over. I mean, only 7 passing attempts for the quarterback there. So it really was just a run game all night long for the Trojans, and they ran it all over them. We saw a lot out of Miles Marshall, who he had that 93-yard kind of, house call, a cherry on top, if you will, 93-yard run to the house there, and that kind of ended that actually did end the starters' time on the field for tonight.
That's the most rushing yards I have seen in a game since I covered Danville in the playoffs last year. They played against Corning Miller. They ran for 492 yards in that game. But Centerburg put on a show. They put on their Danville hats from the 2024 season here tonight. Now, is that going to stay? We'll see. It depends on the opponent. It's a Loudonville team that's still trying to rebuild something. They went 0-10 last year. They now go to 2-3 this year. They're still winless in the KMAC. But this Centerburg team, they've shown us that they can run the football these last 3 weeks. Miles Marshall has been a big piece of that. But tonight, the tip of the hat goes to Blaine Ball, who had a fantastic game, 3 on the ground and 1 in the air.
Absolutely, and going forward, it's kind of like Blaine talked about in the interview. It is really just whatever the defense gives them, right? Blaine coming into the game had 583 passing yards and 7 touchdowns, so they can throw the ball if they have to, but, running is their bread and butter with 408 rushing yards on the docket tonight.
Speaking of Danville, that's who Loudonville has next week. They'll go home for that game. Centerburg, they'll be on the road at Cardington. Cardington playing tough with East Knox right now as they continue to play an early end to this one due to the running clock. So we're going to go ahead and get on out of here early, and I'm going to enjoy my early night as I get ready for Friday Night Pigskin at 11:30. But from Centerburg, Ohio, final score 41-0 in favor of the Trojans. You're going to see this fumble right here. This is what changed things for the rest of the game. Centerburg ran away from it from here, and that will do it for our broadcast. Jonathon Langdon with you, Xander Devault, your color commentator. Peering over my right shoulder is Shane Young. He's your camera operator tonight. And here's the shot from Blaine Ball into the end zone. Shout out to all of our sponsors bringing you this live and free coverage tonight. Thanks to the Centerburg AmVets Post 59, Webb's Marathon and Automotive, Knox Public Health, Monarch Title Services, North Central State College, the Centerburg Health and Wellness Center with Knox Community Hospital, Rural First, and Scout Construction LLC. That's going to do it for our coverage. Have a good rest of your night. We will see you next week for more KMAC action on the OH Report. All clear.